member of the hibiscus family. Apparently you can use the leaves for various things. Apparently the whole plant is edible. Common use for the leaf is tea, I think. I've just gone around and used a pair of scissors to chop out some of those. I might go back and get a couple more I missed. Show what I'm looking for. Apparently you harvest them about 2 to 3 weeks after they're flowered, and this is what's left over. And you look for a rosella that's about 2 or 3 centimeters across, and it's really the petally things here that you're after to make the jam with. There's a seed pod in the center. Just collecting some rainwater, and I'll tell you why shortly. It's a bit wet here we are. A little bit of video previous to this, you would have seen me harvest some rosellas. These are the rosellas. I've actually pulled the seeds out of them, so I've just got those petals, and I've got to wash them now. So that's what the rainwater is. Instead of using the tank water, I'll use a little bit of rainwater. Just put the rosella petals into this pot with a little bit of water. It's been cooking for now for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes on a low simmer. I've added a little bit more water in. I'm just trying to break down those petals a bit. It smells pretty good. I'm figuring that I'll probably need to cook this for anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes, just to make sure that those petals are broken down very well. So once that's done, I'll come back to you then. It's been about 40 minutes. I'm still going to reduce it down a bit more because I think it's a little bit watery at the moment. I just want to get a thicker consistency than it is at the moment. It's been about another 10 minutes. I'm pretty happy with the consistency now. If I had a stick blender here, I'd probably just pulse it. You just see some of the material on the spoon, but it's not fibrous, it's not too chunky, it's soft. So what I do now is I add, as a rule of thumb, the same weight of sugar as there is syrup to this. I've got some scales here, but I haven't measured that, so rule of thumb again for me is I measure volume. So I reckon on the spoon I'm going to make the volume come up to about there with white sugar. Then I'm going to dissolve the sugar until I get a nice syrupy texture, and I'll show you that process shortly. You see this whitey substance on the top of the jam. It's getting towards jam. I'm actually going to skim that off. It'll just affect the colour of the jam once I've finished. I've just turned it off. I think it's pretty close to being ready, and the way I'm going to test it is, see some good colour there. So I'm just going to leave a little bit in the spoon, probably about that much. And I'll let that cool, and I'll come back and do a ribbon test, I suppose. Well, that's what I'll call it anyhow. Just run your finger through the jam, hold the spoon up, and see if it runs or not. What I haven't mentioned is pectin. I haven't used any pectin in this. I'm just relying on the natural pectin in the fruit. So hopefully that'll be enough, and the sugar, of course, to make it set. And I'm not really looking for a jelly. I'm looking for a loose jam, I suppose. Well, I don't have a jam jar with me, so I'm just boiling some water at the moment to sterilise a 1 glass aluminium one that I bought it here in Undarra last night. But it has a plastic top, a couple of holes in it. But what I'll do is, once I set the jam inside this, I'll put some cling wrap over the top of it, and then put the plastic lid on it just to keep the air out until we're ready to refrigerate. I put the spoon outside because it's a little bit more light, and hopefully I can just manage my camera this way. There's that spoon with that jam in it. See, it's not running back down, so I'm pretty satisfied that's of a consistency that I'll set into the jam that I want. It's a little bit tart, but it still has a little sweet flavour there as well. Tastes nice.